This story is part of a series called Unintentional Love Story. Each episode follows a different couple and explores the beautiful complexities of love, relationships, and self-discovery. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button to be notified when new episodes drop. And stick around after the credits for a special message from us. The city lights twinkled like a million fallen stars as Tae Joon walked home from work. The bustling streets were alive with energy, but he was lost in thought, his mind replaying moments from the day. Moments spent with Won Young, the man who had somehow wormed his way into his heart. Tae Joon had always been the quiet type. People at work appreciated his dedication and often sought him out for his thoughtful advice. But few knew that behind his composed demeanor, he harbored a deep longing for connection. His own heart, he felt, was a puzzle with a missing piece. Then he met Won Young. Won Young was sunshine personified. His laughter was infectious, his smile disarming. He was the kind of person who walked into a room and instantly made it feel brighter. Despite his carefree nature, Won Young carried a hint of sadness in his eyes, a sadness that mirrored the loneliness in Tae Joon's own soul. Their paths crossed unexpectedly at a local cafe, a chance encounter that set in motion a series of events neither of them could have predicted. As weeks turned into months, Tae Joon and Won Young became inseparable. They shared quiet moments over cups of coffee, talking for hours about dreams and fears. With Won Young, Tae Joon felt seen not just by Won Young, but also by his heart. It was as if Won Young understood him in a way that others never had. However, Won Young had his own battles. His past relationships had left him guarded, afraid to love again. Despite this, he couldn't help but grow closer to Tae Joon, drawn to the man's quiet strength and gentle spirit. There were times when Tae Joon wanted to reach out, to bridge the gap between them, but fear held him back. He worried that his feelings were too intense, that expressing them might push Won Young away. So he held back, burying his emotions deep within him. Watching from afar as Won Young dated other men, he forced himself to stay in the shadows, pretending he was and falling deeper in love with the man who had yet to fully let him in. Then came the day when Won Young's facade crumbled. A failed relationship left him heartbroken, and for the first time, he reached out to Tae Joon, seeking comfort. The dam within Tae Joon broke, and he confessed his love, pouring his heart out to Won Young in a torrent of words and emotions. Won Young, taken aback by Tae Joon's honesty and the depth of his feelings, found himself leaning into the embrace of the man who had loved him in silence. Their love story wasn't a fairy tale. There were days when doubt crept in, when the weight of their unspoken past threatened to pull them under. But they held on to each other, communicating, understanding, growing. Slowly, the pieces of their hearts that had been missing all along fell into place. They learned to love, not just romantically, but to love themselves as well. One rainy evening, Tae Joon found Won Young standing in the rain, tears streaming down his face. Without a second thought, he rushed to Won Young, pulling him into a tight embrace. In that moment, the world around them faded away. All that mattered was the feeling of being held, the warmth of another human touch. And as Won Young cried into his shoulder, Tae Joon whispered, "I can treat you better." It wasn't just a promise. It was a vow. From that day forward, they faced the world hand in hand. Won Young no longer afraid to love, and Tae Joon no longer afraid to express his feelings. They proved to the world that love, when treated well, could conquer all. The unintentional love story of Tae Joon and Won Young reminds us that love doesn't always come easily. Sometimes it takes time, patience, and a lot of heart-to-heart conversations. But with commitment and understanding, love can bloom even in the most unexpected places.